As normal, I'm not very good at keeping track of what I'm doing, so this video is just going to be running through some of the stuff I've done to the moped and doing a few other things. I'll just chuck in a couple of sections of video now of what I've done. There'll just be snippets and there'll be no explanation, but I'll just pick it up after that, so bear with me.
That panel came off pretty easy. It's like 4 bolts or something. There's a lot of homemade botch stuff in here, so I'm going to start off with just repairing some of that and removing some of that other stuff. And then hopefully take the vacuums off, clean them, just chuck some fresh fuel in it, order a new plug for it. I love some professional wiring. Not too sure why that's been added on, because it does reach. There's probably been a reason at some point. I'll take the plug out. It's certainly a bit worse for wear if this will focus. Might focus? Hello? You just had to take my word for it. I didn't realise, but there's a few plastics that are broken and missing bits, so I wanted to do something with that. Decided my back's getting sore, I must be getting too old for this, so might as well use the ramp.
So as you can see, I put a new battery in it. What else did I do? I actually chucked fresh fuel in it. Fresh oil, no, that's going to make much difference, 2-stroke oil anyway. And I stripped all the panels off to prep them for paint, realising that they're in horrendous condition. They're as much as possible with the sandpaper, but I just need a lot more work. So I just primed them up, had some reactions with the primer because there's about 5 different coats of paint on underneath that I've been rubbing through. I've got a rough colour that I want. It's a horrible beige. It's Ford Ivory White apparently, but it's not very white. Just gonna fit the plastics back on once the paint is dry. I think I've still got a couple of panels still to go. So, yes! I primered the panels just to see where the damaging thing was. And I've started on the headlight kind of, obviously it needs rubbed down and fillered. Basically, I've just made a mess of the garage. See, it's pretty stripped down. I've got a couple of they're actually breather air filters, a tiny one. I'm just going to see if I can make one fit instead of that air box that's here. So it's just got the foaming thing in it. So I'm just going to remove that. Might not work, but I've already took the 2 bolts out, so it should pop off. Yep. There's an incy-wincy little carburetor there. And that's a bit big, like. No chance. I think I'd even run with that. Aye, so I'm gonna have to extend that out somewhere so it's not sitting there or something. Not too sure there. Alright quality, they're just the cheap stuff for Halfords. Thinking what was Simply, apparently. As you can see, there's a few dodgy electrics still need sorted. I'll just work my way through them. I've got the front panel on. It looks alright for a distance, but you can kind of see there. Just the bodywork is, yeah, there we go. It's absolutely horrendous. Believe it or not, I've been at that with sandpaper for ages, but it'll get rubbed down and painted properly at some point. I'm just doing it with rattle cans now. This panel drying, this is probably one of the worst, but it's just folks' feet keep kicking it, I guess. Same as this one. There's been a few repairs and thing over the time. Stuck that back together, but I should have done a better job. Obviously keeping nice and warm. Best heater ever. I emptied the back of one of my motors and I've got all this stuff for the S13, but I'm going to rub some bits because I need a wee bit of piping to bend on that. So I'll raid through the stuff that I have and see what's what. Some of the plastics are dry, so I'll just threw them on just to get a rough idea where that air filter's to sit. And I'm going to attempt to lower it and take the spring out. Because people are saying if you take the spring out and put skateboard bushings in, apparently they're comfy enough, but I beg to differ. And I've got the air filter here, and a couple of bits of pipe to make up, because I just want it just to sit, just coming out here and no more. Obviously it's not a very good idea if I was riding it constantly because it'd get wet or something, but we're just going to give it a go anyway. It's a bit that sits. Over there. Got that just to sleeve them both together. Fairly tight fit with one hand anyway. So basically, like that. Pretty happy with how that sits. I put a wee bit of sealer and glue in as well, just to kind of secure it a bit more. Obviously I'll have to get something to clamp this side and secure it up, but I certainly think about there. That's pretty cool. It might run like shite well and I might have to chuck another one back on, but hopefully not. Made some mess like. So I'm going to whip that spring out, see if we can crack on with it. So it's just a bolt at the bottom, or to loosen that one off, and one at the top. I'm not sure how it's going to sit with these, but I don't know, kind of people usually put 2 or 4 in. Should I give it a go? I've not figured out how I'm going to lower the front yet though, because it's just shocks. Both sides. It's a fairly weird setup. To figure out how you get the spring off. Alright. Possibly threaded through the bottom maybe? Alright, we'll give that a go. And it turned out it did just screw up the bottom, so I'm gonna have a look and figure out what we're doing. Not much of a shock like. Just go for 2 first and see how that gets on. Go around. Unless we go for 4. Well, fuck it, we'll go for 2 first, see how it sits. Well, I think it might be a wee bit of difference here. Just gonna chuck that back up in place. Yeah, lift the back of that bike. I've chucked it back together and the trim back on to see how it sits. I'm not sure whether I need another 2 in there, we'll soon find. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. It was touching
A couple things.
right at the top in there. But figure that out later. So that's air filter in place. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm not sure, I might try and bring it a bit further in, but quite noticeable. Just faffing about the wee in I bought as well. There's a breather out there. Box there, well, what there is of a box. I might sleeve that down there, but I'm not sure if that's going to be too much. Everything gets cleaned up anyway. Other thing was air horn. I took this off my old Isuzu Trooper. I'm going to see if I can fabricate it to fit, hopefully around about there. I think that'll look pretty cool, like that. I'm not sure if there'll be enough clearance between that and the wheels, so I'm just going to faff about with it and see if I can make it work. The clip's a lot quieter because my diesel heater has run out of diesel, so it's cold. But I managed to fit that wee filter. I'm not 100% on it, but I just add something in there. I've chucked that big ugly bolt in there just now, but I need to rub that panel down again because there's quite a few marks on it. There's barely any clearance. So, and obviously, the panel's only bolted on, so it's pretty loose, but I'm going to attempt a metal bracket instead, I think. And obviously hide that, or, to be honest, it doesn't really bother me, but I think that's looking quite good though. I've not wired it up yet, because there's a bunch of wiring I need to sort anyway, and a couple of things on the front, so I'm going to leave the wiring to last. I just want to get the panels on and see roughly what it's going to look like. Slowly getting there. Typical me, I've lost half the screws, but I'm going to have to redo the top visor bit, but this gives me a rough idea. Like I said, I need to rub down a lot of the paint and redo it, because the garage I think is too cold and some of the primer just wasn't taken, but you can see it while that's sitting. Just check the last of the plastics on and then get another look at it. Well, I've stuck it back together and I'm quite happy with how it's sitting. There's a few plastics that don't line up, and like I said, there's been a few botched repairs before I botched some more. But I'm pretty happy. Excuse my stylish earphones. And there she is. The downside is you can't really see it's more white in this, but it's more of a kind of beige. The wee visor over the light doesn't look terrible, but I need to drop down. I need to repaint it all and do the plastics properly, to be honest, but I'll take it off ramp and get some more video footage of it. Apologise about that crappy video I just done now. I need to get one of those things that stops your hand shaking and you wave it about. And yeah. Well, I've got quite a lot done. That's been like 4 hours from a standard bike to a badly painted bike with some crappy modifications, but it's a start. Obviously I fitted the air filters, the air horn. Air horn needs a securer bracket. It doesn't touch anything at the moment, surprisingly, but I didn't really want it bolted through the plastics. Next thing I'll probably do is the exhaust. You can see there, that's a standard one. I think I might do a bit of stainless pipe that comes up, goes back in its cell in at an angle, or I might just do a pipe that sticks at the back. Just depends how I'm feeling at the time. But I'm pretty happy how the colours came out. It's pretty dusty like, but it's more beige in person. It looks awfully white in the picture, and obviously some stickers, can't go wrong with them. Need to sort a few plastics. The front, I do not know how I'm going to, because it's like, there's 2 shocks each side, and as you push it kind of twists, but I had to take them off and maybe just make a bracket up that goes in the middle, but I don't want it too stiff because I still want to be able to kind of ride it around a wee bit. I need to rub down obviously that there. It looks alright
in the video. Ish. No, it doesn't. But it's not bad for a first attempt with fiberglass and that. And need new clocks because you can change the speed you're doing. I've ordered a new mirror for it, just one that's kind of, it's a hand doing that, it's pretty cool. I really want to make a spoiler, but I'm not confident enough with fiberglass and I think I'd just make a bloody mess. But I just want something that kind of follows here. Comes out. No like anything too mad, just out a wee bit. But that might be another day. I found this daft fuel cooler that came off I think it was a Citroen Berlingo. And I know it's pointless and it doesn't do anything and all that, like fucking everybody says to me at car shows, but I'm thinking about possibly cutting it back and mounting it there. I have to do a couple of pipes just hanging around there. Like I said, I'm going to be riding it round my yard and some private roads, but I'm not going to bother MOTing it and putting it on the road, so it shouldn't make too much difference. So I'm going to try and clean it out and repair it. It's pretty knackered, that's why I took it off, but see if I can pull some of those fins out as well. I've straightened as many fins as I can. It's far from perfect, but it looks a bit better. Get the last of that stuff out and get a wee try on. I need to cut that bit off first. I meant cut it down a bit actually. See how it'll sit. I was trying to think, I can maybe put the fuel through it, but it's completely pointless. But at least then people couldn't say, oh, it's not even linked up to anything. Because that's what they seem to always say. Yeah, I think. Hope I didn't drop the bike. Just isn't cutting it for a fucking stand. But yeah, try again. There. Mistake. Yeah, I don't care what folks say, I'm probably going to put that on there. A little bit in the middle. But then it would never get any air, so it would be even more pointless, even though it's pointless anyway. I think we'll do one of these vents. Try as flush as possible. There. Yep, pointless but cool. Mm-hmm. A bit of novelty exhaust here, so wish me luck. Yeah, I know this is a bit overkill, but welded a cap on there. We mount, run out of gas also. Should mount there and be excessive.